In our previous segment, we delved into some of the most unsettling police interventions of 2023. As we continue this journey, we present part 2 of our series. If you haven't seen part 1, we strongly recommend you watch it to grasp the full context. Today, we further explore the incidents that not only shook our trust in law enforcement, but also ignited debates worldwide. Viewer discretion is advised, as the content can be distressing. Let's further uncover the truth behind these harrowing events. Big Brother. On April 27th of 23, a quiet neighborhood in North Ogden, Utah became the backdrop for a chilling incident that would leave its mark on the community forever. Jeffrey Roberts, a 66-year-old man from Long Beach, California, embarked on a journey spanning over 700 miles with a dark intent. Jeffrey, with his white goatee and heavy-set build, arrived at the home of his brother, Scott Roberts, a retired forestry professor. The evening seemed like any other, with Scott and his wife Jody enjoying a peaceful dinner, but as the doorbell rang, the tranquility was about to be shattered. Captured on a doorbell camera, Jeffrey can be seen calmly approaching the front door, telling his brother he'd come to see their mother, but when Scott informed him she wasn't there, the atmosphere quickly shifted. Without warning, Jeffrey pulled out a gun, unleashing a barrage of bullets as he made his way into the home.
Hey, what's up? What are you doing? Come to the case. We came by to see Mom. She's not here? Where's she at? In Missouri? What's she doing there? Well, she's living with Lorinda's mom, who's taking care of her. Really? Yeah. Well, how long's she been there? About a year. Really?
But the horror didn't end at the doorstep. Minutes later, Jeffrey emerged from the house, only to return shortly after, this time armed with a 12-gauge shotgun and a brown duffel bag. As he breathed heavily, the contents of the bag would later reveal a chilling arsenal, a 9mm handgun and a total of 23 fully loaded handgun magazines. The serenity of the evening was further disrupted by the sound of sirens.
Give it to Julie. Gang, it's my turn. You get everything else. What else do I got here? Oh, go to my garage and get my your shit out of my garage ASAP. Scan next target the turtles. Empty my bank account as quick as you can.
Alerted by a 911 call from a concerned neighbor who had heard the gunshots, the police were quick to arrive at the scene.
911, what's the address and city of your emergency? What city?
North Ogden.
And one more time with that address. Tell me what's happening.
It was next door and it sounded like gunshots, but I'm not sure about that. But
No, it's okay. What?
there was,
Sorry,
but
what's
I don't know.
direction from you?
It was just it would be west of me, the next house to me, I think.
How many did you hear?
Several. But
Did you hear anything before or after?
no. And there was a guy that walked out of the house, but I couldn't tell. Like I said, it was pretty loud, but
You
it
know where
sounded
that
like
male, was it a male or?
a male in a brown van. Let me see.
Went to a brown van. Did he leave in the van or?
No, he's still there, but It must not be.
But as they approached, Jeffrey began firing at them, initiating a fierce shootout. 5 officers were present and 3 returned fire.
Ceasefire! 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 Ceasefire!
When the dust settled, Jeffrey lay motionless, a fatal head wound marking the end of his rampage. But the devastation was far from over. Thick black smoke began pouring out of the house, the result of a fire ignited by Jeffrey using road flares. Inside, Scott Roberts was found dead from gunshot wounds. His wife Jody had also been shot but was fortunately alive. Their daughter, Kelsey Turner, later revealed that her mother survived because Scott had bravely confronted Jeffrey, urging Jody to flee. In her words, her father died a hero, offering a small solace amidst the tragedy. The aftermath of that night was heart-wrenching. The house, once filled with memories, was now in ruins. Jody was left with no clothes or personal items, everything consumed by the flames. The community rallied around her, with many sharing their condolences and memories of Scott, remembering him as a man of wisdom, warmth, and humor. As investigators delved deeper into the incident, trying to piece together the motive behind Jeffrey's actions, one thing became clear. Family ties can sometimes be the most complex and tragically the most destructive. The events of that night serve as a somber reminder of the unpredictability of life and the profound impact one's individual actions can have on an entire community. Disturbing confrontation. On January 3rd of 23, a seemingly ordinary day in South Los Angeles took a harrowing turn. Body cam footage later released by the LAPD captured the intense moments that unfolded on East 28th Street and Central Avenue. Before the officers' arrival, a frantic 911 call set the stage for the confrontation. A concerned citizen reported a man, later identified as Oscar Leon Sanchez, walking on the roadway, brandishing a knife and throwing metal objects at passing vehicles and pedestrians.
LA City 911, operator 241.
Hi, I'm calling. It's 27 South Central Avenue. There's a male that he literally had a knife in his hand and he was wrapping some wire, which he was stealing from one of the poles.
Okay,
and he's walking just in the middle.
What does he look like? Is he black, white, Hispanic, or Asian?
He's Hispanic. He's Hispanic.
About how old?
But he literally threw a knife at a car.
Hey, I have a homeless here. He hit my car.
I'm sorry, what happened to your car?
Está un homeless en la calle, en la 28, en la Central. ¿Español?
Sí, hablo español. ¿Qué pasó?
Hay un homeless aquí en la 28 y la Central. Está tirándole cosas a los carros.
The caller's voice, tinged with urgency, painted a picture of a man on the edge, a situation rapidly spiraling out of control. The footage begins with officers approaching an abandoned building, following up on the details provided in the 911 call. As they near the entrance, the tension is palpable. Sanchez can be seen on a second-story landing. He's agitated, holding a makeshift spear in one hand and a heavy metal chain in the other. Officers call out to him to drop the chain, their voices firm yet measured. But Sanchez, seemingly lost in his own world, responds with the defiance. "I am not going to allow you to rob me," he declares in Spanish. His voice echoed with confusion and fear that he might have felt.
Oscar. Ya, más dije, tírale esas cosas y bájate para abajo. Necesitas hablar, ¿ok? Nada te va a pasar, pero necesitas oírme, ¿ok? Bájate para abajo. Oscar, te llamas Oscar, ¿no? Oscar, bájate para abajo. Oscar, óigame, necesitas tirar todo lo que tienes en el piso, suelta todo lo que tienes en la mano y baja para abajo. Necesitamos hablar contigo, ¿ok? Oscar, bájate para abajo. Oh, yeah. Oscar, baja para abajo. Bájate para abajo, Oscar. Hey, Oscar. Keep going, Omar. Oscar. Es la policía de Los Ángeles. Go ahead, side. Watch that front, looking close to the front. Somebody in the front? Yeah.
The officers, attempting to de-escalate the situation, continue their efforts to communicate. "We don't want to hurt you," one can be heard saying, but Sanchez's actions suggest he's not fully comprehending the gravity of the situation. He retreats into the building, shutting the door behind him, only to re-emerge moments later, his makeshift weapon at the ready. The confrontation reaches its climax as Sanchez lunges at the officers. Commands to drop it are drowned out by the chaos. In the heat of the moment, shots are fired. Sanchez falls to the ground and the officers rush in, their primary concern now to administer aid.
Oscar! Alright, we're pushing forward. Ready? Ready. Ready. Not touch anything. I'm holding it up. Watch it.
But as the dust settles, the weight of the situation becomes clear. Despite the officers' efforts, Sanchez's injuries proved fatal. The footage ends with a somber scene. Officers, visibly shaken, processing the events that had just transpired.
And just take your time going down. We don't need another someone fine.
The aftermath of the incident was marked by a mix of grief, anger, and a quest for answers. Sanchez's family, particularly his brother Emmanuel, who witnessed the tragic event, demanded transparency and justice. The community rallied, with many questioning the LAPD's handling of situations involving individuals with mental health crises. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass expressed her concern about the incident, emphasizing the need for change and reduction in the use of force. As investigations continue, the incident serves as a poignant reminder of the complexities and challenges faced by law enforcement and the communities they serve. It underscores the urgent need for understanding, training, and compassion in addressing mental health crises in the field. Strange guests. On the night of April 30th of 23, the skies over Las Vegas were lit up, not by the city's famous neon lights, but by a mysterious fireball that streaked across the horizon. This wasn't just a fleeting celestial event, it was the prelude to an incident that would leave both residents and law enforcement officers baffled. The body cam footage starts with the officers responding to a 911 call from a concerned Las Vegas family. They claimed that something had crashed in their backyard. But this wasn't just any crash. The caller, audibly shaken, described seeing two beings, each towering at over 10 feet tall, with a distinct greenish-tan hue to their skin and eyes that glowed neon. The description was nothing short of extraterrestrial.
Okay, what's going on over there?
Okay, lady. Me, my dad, and my brother, we're working at a truck in our backyard, and we have a big lot outside, right? Correct?
Okay.
We were working, and we just see in a corner of our eye something fall down from the sky, and it was with light, and when it hit down, it was like a big impact, and we felt it. We felt like an energy, and then we hear like a lot of footsteps near us, and then we have a big equipment, and we see, and there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouths. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
As police approached the scene, their apprehension was palpable. One officer can be heard saying, "I'm so nervous right now." Another adds, "I have butterflies, bro. Saw a shooting star and now 3 people say there's aliens in their backyard." Their skepticism is evident, but the genuine fear in the witnesses' eyes gives them pause. Conversations with the witnesses further deepen the mystery. When asked to describe what they saw, one witness responded, it was like a big creature, more than 10 feet tall.
Did you see it?
Huh?
Did you see it?
Yeah, me and him saw it.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
Because I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or?
They see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big something with lights.
Can we go outside?
I have a big yard in the back, you can see.
The body cam captures the officers' venture into the backyard where they hope to find evidence of the alleged crash. While the footage is partly obscured due to privacy laws, the officers' reactions and the subsequent drone photos hinted something inexplicable.
Did you see it? No? I'm kind of curious now. I want to know if there's aliens.
I was with the iPhone. I say, I want to record something.
Where did they go?
Well, they say that. I'm gonna show you.
You have a dirt backyard. Can you show me if there's a... And I'm sorry, did you see them go anywhere? No, you didn't. Did they probably go that way?
The American Meteor Society had received 21 reports of the fireball that night, with sightings ranging from Utah to Reno, but it was the Las Vegas incident that garnered the most attention, especially after the body cam footage went public. The circular imprints found in the backyard remain unexplained, even as officials returned to the site for several days of investigation. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, despite their initial involvement, eventually closed the case, but the incident left an indelible mark on those involved. As the officers left the scene, one can be heard humorously advising the family, "Hey, if those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, alright?"
No, hey, if those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, alright? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that. I'll drive by and wave at you guys. You're on your own, bro.
Take care, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah.
The events of that night serve as a reminder of the mysteries that sometimes unfold right in our backyards, challenging our understanding of the known and the unknown. A chilling pursuit. In the bustling heart of Los Angeles, the city's metro stations are often bustling with commuters, tourists, and locals. But on May 2nd of 23, the Vermont Beverly Red Line metro station became the backdrop for a harrowing incident that would be captured on police body cams and make headlines across the nation. The morning sun had barely risen when at around 9:40 a.m., LAPD officers working at the metro station were approached by an 18-year-old young man. He was visibly distressed and he had a story to tell. The man informed the officers that he'd been threatened by another individual who had brandished a knife at him. To identify the assailant, he showed the officers a photograph of the man on his cell phone. The suspect was none other than 23-year-old Mason Todd Sweener. With the photograph as their guide, the officers proceeded to the lower-level mezzanine of the station. It didn't take long for them to spot Sweener. One officer can be heard saying, that's him," as they identify Sweener, who was still in possession of the knife. But the officers immediately engaged, ordering Sweener to drop his weapon.
Hey, put the knife away. Put it in your backpack.
8131 FB81, you said?
Put it in your backpack. Put it in your pocket. Hey man, you gotta go. You gotta leave.
But Sweener had other plans. Ignoring the officer's commands, he fled to the upper-level mezzanine. As he ran, he encountered a 74-year-old woman. Without hesitation, he struck her in the head with an unknown object.
Hey! Step back. FB425, let me get it back. That 415 man with a gun. Correction, 415 man with a knife.
FB421, requesting a backup area. Code 6 and enforcement email on 9 Vermont, Beverly.
Stay back, partners. FB425. FB425 is going to be a male white, approximately 30 years of age, with black shirt, gray sweatpants.
The chase didn't end there. Sweener made his way to the street level, and as he sprinted north on Vermont Avenue from Beverly Boulevard, he committed another violent act. This time he stabbed a 61-year-old man in the left shoulder. The man's injuries were severe, but Sweener's rampage was far from over.
The suspect's a male, white, 30 years, black shirt, gray sweats, Vermont Beverly, 1707.
He darted across the street, making his way to the rear parking lot of a building on the 300 block of North Vermont Avenue. Here he positioned himself defiantly in front of a parked vehicle, still clutching the knife that had already caused so much harm. The officers, determined to end the threat, positioned themselves strategically and continued to shout commands at Sweener, urging him to drop the knife. "Drop the knife. Do it now," one officer can be heard shouting repeatedly.
425, gonna be focussed. 42 out of 9, northbound, Vermont towards Oakwood. 425, be advised that the suspect attempted to stab a citizen.
All units 31 FP 425 is in foot pursuit of 450 man with a knife. Northbound Vermont towards Oakwood, requesting backup to your unit supervisor.
425.
285 closer to me in Vermont.
Put your hands up, man.
Move backward. I'm not playing with you. Grab my knife. I want you.
Hey, Airship, can you direct me this in, please? Hey!
I repeat your location.
You're free, so you have the frequency. Guys, I got them. They're going to be just south of Oakwood.
Hey, just drop the knife, bro. Relax and drop the knife.
421, guys. You turn southbound Vermont. I got them to the rear. They're going to be in a parking lot.
Drop the knife, bro.
But Sweener was absolute. With the knife still in his hand, he charged at one of the police. The situation escalated rapidly, culminating in an officer-involved shooting. Sweener was struck by the officer's gunfire. He fell to the ground, finally releasing his grip on the knife. The threat was neutralized and Sweener was taken into custody without further incident.
I'm not playing with you. You grab that knife, I will shoot you. Grab it, I'll shoot you. Grab that side. Jump out.
I repeat your location. You're free, so you have the frequency. Guys, I got them. They're going to be just south of Oakwood. They're going to be in a parking lot. Small white building, guys. Shop 421, guys. You turn them southbound Vermont. I got them to the rear. They're going to be in a parking lot. Code 6 on the suspect. They have them at gunpoint.
Drop the knife. I won't shoot you. Drop the knife.
Sweener, a resident of Glendale, Arizona, was rushed to a local hospital. His condition was critical but stable. As for his victims, the 18-year-old who had first alerted the officers was fortunately unharmed. The 74-year-old woman received medical treatment and was later released. The 61-year-old man who'd suffered a stab wound to his shoulder was hospitalized in stable condition. The aftermath of the incident saw Sweener booked for attempted murder, with his bail set at a staggering $2,125,000. The LAPD's Specialized Force Investigation Division took over the scene, interviewing witnesses, collecting evidence, and piecing together the events of that fateful morning. This incident, like many others, raises questions about public safety, the challenges faced by law enforcement, and the unpredictable nature of violent confrontations. As investigations continue and more details emerge, the city of Los Angeles grapples with the reality of such incidents and the impact they have on the community. Nightmare in Oklahoma. While the incident we're about to delve into occurred on May 2nd of 22 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, its inclusion in our video is due to the release of a gripping 30-minute body cam footage this year, shedding lights on the harrowing events of that day. The video begins with officers responding to a 911 call made by Charles Bradley, a 75-year-old Vietnam vet. The distress in Bradley's voice was evident as he claimed to have found his wife dead in their home, but as the call continued, Bradley's words took a dark turn, suggesting he might have been the one responsible. Charles Bradley wasn't just any elderly man. He was a Vietnam War veteran, a man who had seen the horrors of war firsthand. Over the years, the scars of the battlefield had taken a toll on his mental health, manifesting as PTSD. Those who knew him spoke of the nightmares that haunted him, the flashbacks that would transport him back to the jungles of Vietnam. Upon arriving at Bradley's residence, officers are met with a scene of palpable tension. The front door opens, revealing a visibly distraught Bradley, tears streaming down his face. The ambience of the house is somber, with dim lighting casting shadows on the wall. Outside, the neighborhood, usually peaceful, is now filled with the flashing lights of police cars, drawing the attention of neighbors and passerby. Whispers fill the air as they try to piece together what might have happened.
Sir, you come out with your hands up. Keep coming my way. Keep coming.
You have a weapon on you? No weapons? Come on out. Okay,
I know.
Come on out. Come on out.
Wait a minute. What have you talked to? Not all. Here, I'm gonna talk to you. My name is Officer Wade, Tulsa Police. Okay. Will you walk my way? I am. Is there anybody else inside the house besides your wife?
Keep coming. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you step over here with these officers and I'm gonna go in here to your wife.
Bradley is promptly taken into custody, with officers urging him to keep his hands visible. They proceed with caution, asking Bradley if anyone else is inside the house. Their worst fears are confirmed when they discover Sandra Bradley, Charles' wife, lying lifeless with multiple gunshot wounds.
Is there anybody else inside the house besides your wife? Keep coming. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you step over here with these officers and I'm gonna go in here to your wife.
Oh, babe. Come on. Oh. Anything?
Ma'am?
The body cam footage captures Bradley's interaction with the police in real time. After being read his Miranda rights, he begins recounting the events of that fateful night. He speaks of being awoken by the alarm on his wife's cell phone and of a dream he'd been having, a dream about an attack. The lines between reality and nightmare seem to blur for Bradley as he describes searching for his wife's phone, only to find her lifeless body on the floor surrounded by blood.
Mr. Bradley, I gotta read these to you, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. I gotta read these to you through and through first, okay?
Am I being arrested?
Just a second, sir.
Okay.
If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, won't be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. If you decide to make a statement, you may stop at any time. Do you understand the rights I explained to you, sir?
Yes, sir.
You remember what all happened tonight?
I really don't. Her phone alarm was going off. I was in bed asleep.
About what time?
Her alarm goes off at 4:30.
4:30, okay.
So I got up to tell her that her didn't turn her alarm off. She was not in the bed. So I started into the kitchen, figuring if she is up, she's probably making coffee.
Say that last part again, sir.
She was not in the bed.
She wasn't in bed when. So you woke up when her alarm went off?
Yes, sir.
At 4:30.
Yeah.
And she was not in the bed.
Not in the bed.
Okay.
And so I got up to go tell her to turn off her alarm, and
what all do you need?
She was laying on the floor.
You got out of the bed and she was laying on the floor?
Uh-huh.
Where was she laying at when you found her?
Kind of in the hallway and kind of in the kitchen. She was in the...
Okay, and what did you see?
Blood.
Blood? Okay.
As the video progresses, officers can be seen collecting evidence, including the alleged murder weapon. Their methodical approach to the investigation is evident as they photograph the scene, collect fingerprints, and converse with Bradley, trying to piece together the events. Throughout the footage, Bradley's state of mind oscillates between confusion, despair, and moments of clarity. At one point, he can be heard saying, "I didn't know I was shooting my wife."
Patrick, are you still with her? Okay.
Do we want fire or no?
No, she's dead. There's dead. Nothing we can do for her.
I've got a spare around here.
Okay, just try not to disturb anything, and we'll just tell us what you see.
The articles provide further context to Bradley's mental state. Suffering from PTSD, Bradley's accounts of the incident are inconsistent. While he seems to accept that evidence would show he was the perpetrator, he also claims to have blacked out and not remembered the events clearly. Neighbors and community members express their shock and disbelief, painting a picture of a peaceful neighborhood rocked by a tragic event. In the days following the incident, a small memorial was set up outside the Bradley residence. Flowers, candles, and notes adorned the front porch, a tribute to Sandra Bradley and a testament to the community's grief. Bradley was charged with first-degree murder. Despite the gravity of the charges, he pled not guilty. In a surprising turn, he was released after posting $70,000 of his $1 million bond. As he awaits his next court hearing, he's required to obey a curfew and wear a tracking device. This tragic incident serves as a stark reminder of the hidden scars many veterans carry with them. The trauma of war, combined with the challenges of aging, can lead to unforeseen and heartbreaking consequences. DUI crash. In the heart of Illinois, a tense situation unfolds. This video footage, released this year, spanning just over 25 minutes, captures the meticulous process of a sobriety test being conducted on Stephanie Melgoza. The officer begins with clear instructions. "Today, you're under arrest." Stephanie, though visibly distressed, remains cooperative. As the rain pours, she recounts her evening, mentioning her time at Throttle. She describes a sudden and shocking event where someone walked in front of her vehicle. She called 911 immediately after, her voice trembling with the weight of the situation.
Over here with me, ma'am, okay?
I called as soon as this shit happened. I was just like, this doesn't happen to me.
I understand.
I go to Bradley, like, why would this happen to me?
Okay, so here's what I'm going to have you do. If you can maybe help Pyro doing CPR on that one right now.
You tell me, I'm right here.
Okay, just hang tight right here. Has anybody gotten all your information?
No, no one. Someone, your friend took my license.
Do you have a driver's license?
Your friend took my license.
Okay, I'm just going to write it down here.
Okay.
Just let you know I got body cameras. Okay. Explain in detail just what happened prior to the accident.
I was coming to full throttle, and I was almost here, as you can see.
Were you driving this way or that coming down that side road?
I was coming here, this way.
Okay.
And suddenly, one person walked out in front of me.
Okay.
And my car got hit. I called you as soon as they got hit.
You called 911?
Yes, I called 911. As soon as something happened.
The officer, methodical in his approach, inquires about her speed. At least 40, she responds, suggesting she might have been driving between 40 to 45 miles per hour. When probed about her alcohol consumption, Stephanie admits to having 3 drinks at Tavern 41 on Sterling Avenue in Peoria. She's insistent that she's not too intoxicated, stating, "I've been very drunk and right now, I see you, I see everyone. I'm aware of everything."
Okay, just so if you had to ask me, how fast were you going when you hit the person?
I would say I was going at least 40. At least 40. Maybe 40 to 45, but at least 40.
Okay. Where were you coming from tonight?
I was coming from Tavern 41 on Sterling.
Tavern 31 on Sterling. Tavern 41 on Sterling,
yes,
Peoria. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least drunk you've ever been, 10 being the most drunk you've ever been, where would you say you put yourself at right now?
5. Because I've been very drunk. And right now, like, I see you, I see everyone, I know the situation, you know what I mean? Like, I know I'm aware of everything.
Okay.
The sobriety tests commence. The officer instructs her to follow the tip of a pen with her eyes. Stephanie struggles, her eyes darting back and forth, unable to keep up. The officer then guides her through a walking test, asking her to walk heel to toe in a straight line. She'd asked to count her steps out loud, ensuring clarity and coherence. Stephanie's balance falters, revealing the possible effects of alcohol.
Nope, keep your head still for me.
Oh, my head. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Just your eyes. No, we're going to try that again. Count out loud so I can hear you. Once you begin the test, do not stop until you have completed the test, okay?
9, turn around.
Yes. Do you understand my instructions?
I think so.
All right, go ahead and begin the test, okay?
1, 2, 3.
What was that?
Another test follows, the one-leg stance. Stephanie is instructed to lift one foot, keeping it parallel to the ground, and count out loud. She struggles to maintain her balance, further indicating her impaired state.
4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. I can't do it.
The culmination of the test is the PBT, or preliminary breath test. Stephanie is unfamiliar with the device, but the officer patiently explains. She's asked to blow into it, much like blowing up a balloon. The result is a staggering 0.264, more than 3 times the legal limit in Illinois.
Take a deep breath, long, hard, steady blow. A little bit harder for me, a little bit harder. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay. You're a Bradley student?
I graduate in 4 weeks.
You're a .264, okay? All right. Okay, go ahead and turn around for me and place your hands behind your back. You are under arrest for DUI. Okay.
Following the roadside sobriety test, the video transitions to a more sterile environment, likely a police station or hospital. Stephanie is escorted through the facility, her demeanor a stark contrast to the gravity of the situation. She casually mentions her shattered windshield, seemingly more concerned about the state of her car than the lives lost. Her nonchalance is evident as she talks about her drinking plans for the night, mentioning starting off with 2 Long Islands. As she's being processed, Stephanie's behavior becomes increasingly erratic. She jests about Snapchat, threatens to sing due to the silence, and even inquires about her car's condition. The cop, maintaining his professionalism, informs her that her car is totaled and is now the property of the East Peoria Police Department, as it's considered a crime scene.
Oh, hey, you never answered me about my car. Like, I have school tomorrow, so how do I get my car for tomorrow?
Well, your car is totaled.
It's what?
Your car is totaled.
Totaled?
Totaled, wrecked.
Okay, so how do I get your school tomorrow?
You don't.
So I don't go to school tomorrow is what you're telling me?
No, ma'am. Let me be honest with you. You're going to jail. You don't have a bond. You killed 2 people tonight. I don't think you understand that. You do not have a bond. You are not getting out of jail. Your car is property of East Peoria Police Department because it's a crime scene. It killed 2 people tonight. You are clueless with that, clearly. I've already explained this to you.
The gravity of the situation becomes apparent when the officer informs her, "You're going to jail. You don't have a bond. You killed 2 people tonight." Stephanie's response is a mix of disbelief and indifference. She seems more concerned about missing school the next day than the lives she's taken. The officer, visibly frustrated, reiterates the charges against her: reckless homicide and aggravated DUI, resulting in the death of 2 individuals. Stephanie's lack of remorse is palpable. She appears to be more concerned about her personal inconveniences than the tragic consequences of her actions. The officer, trying to make her grasp the severity of the situation, states, "You could care less, that's sad, empathetic, and horrible all at all the same time." Despite the cop's attempt to make her understand, Stephanie's focus remains skewed, worrying about notifying her professors and even making lighthearted remarks about going to Vegas for her birthday.
You're going to jail for reckless homicide tonight. You're going to jail for aggravated DUI for killing 2 people. That's what's going on. So no, you're not going to school tomorrow. You're not getting your car out of impound.
Can I have a Tuesday leave for my night class?
Did you just hear what I just told you?
You said I'm not going tomorrow. I'm talking about Tuesday.
Did you hear when I said
You
that
said
you...
I'm going to jail tomorrow.
You're going to jail when we're down here?
Yes.
Did you understand what I told that you killed 2 people tonight?
Yeah, so I'm just wondering when I can go to school.
Okay, we're done.
Oh my god, all of them have them. We're going to be like stupid.
The video is a harrowing reminder of the consequences of impaired driving and the varied reactions individuals can have when confronted with the aftermath of their actions. The juxtaposition of Stephanie's nonchalance with the officer's stern demeanor paints a vivid picture of a night that changed multiple lives forever.